What if you could fix it while you were online? Now you can. Just go to mycleanpc.com for your free diagnosis today. Then just activate the mycleanpc.com software to fix it in minutes. And computer specialists are available while you're online. Get rid of pop-ups and junk files. Boost your PC startup time. Even prevent annoying errors, screen freezes, and crashes.
The best thing about mycleanpc.com was it had a free diagnosis.
You know immediately what the problem is, and the problem is solved right then and there.
My computer is 100% faster. My Clean PC works.
Download your free diagnosis today at mycleanpc.com. That's mycleanpc.com.
We've always believed what you stand for says a lot about who you are. We are Texas A&M University, home of the 12th man.
Welcome back to college football on ESPN, presented by 5 Hour Energy.
Come on, get your good time on. Let's have a little fun tonight. Let's have a little fun tonight. Get your good time on. Let's have a little fun tonight. Get your good time on. Get your good time on. Let's have a little fun tonight. Get your good time on.
Welcome to the SEC on ESPN.
Texas A&M 30 minutes away from becoming bowl eligible, 42-7 at the half, and Auburn in jeopardy of going to 0-6. It's a pretty good bet. They're going to go to 0-6 in the SEC here tonight. Matt Stinchcomb. Johnny Manziel had 3 times more total offense in that first half than Auburn as a team.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it at the top, what he's meant to the Texas A&M offense and just how prolific he is at the quarterback position. What's been a little bit different tonight from some of his other performances where he's put up big numbers is that he's operating the offense. It's not a lot of scrambles. It's a lot of design runs, delivering the football, and getting it to the other playmakers.
There's the Taco Bell game track. Manziel, 300 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. Auburn, just 91 yards of total offense. And Auburn quarterbacks, Mosley and Frazier, sacked 5 times. And Kyle Frazier is going to start the second half for Auburn. We haven't seen Mosley since he left early in that first quarter. And it'll be Trey Mason. Pickup of 1, and let's go down to Allison.
Clay, I talked to A&M head coach Kevin Sumlin after the half, obviously very happy with the way the offense has performed, and he said a big reason for that is because they've been able to run the ball well, and when they establish the run, it really opens things up for them offensively. But even with this big lead, he told his guys that you have to keep playing, and everybody that reaches the field has to play hard. Guys, it'll be interesting to see how much more of Johnny Manziel he puts out there, because he said he'll play to start the third, and then maybe not so much depending on how things go.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that as Jonathan Wallace comes in to run the Wildcat for Auburn and picks up 3 more. Jameel Showers, Matt Jokel are the 2 quarterbacks behind Manziel. It's a good bet we're going to see one or the other, maybe both.
You know, it's interesting when you rewind to the preseason and when Kevin Sumlin said that, you know, he set a date to declare who his quarterback was. Many people felt like it'd be Jameel Showers, who's the more experienced of the 2. Clearly, I think someone's been pleased with his ultimate selection. And you see the contrast with Auburn and their revolving door at quarterback.
Auburn hasn't converted on 3rd down yet tonight, and they won't here either. Let's go back again to the field and Allison.
Guys, just a quick update on the Auburn side. You mentioned we haven't seen Clint Mosley since early in the first quarter. He will not return in the second half. He remains out with that ankle injury.
All right, there you have it.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at, you know, Coach Chiswick there. You rewind to a year ago. I don't know how much impact it would have had, but we got to keep in mind Barrett Trotter The quarterback who was named the starter coming in last year had another year of eligibility, opted not to come back to play again this year. I think he'd have an opportunity to be playing quarterback right now for the Auburn Tigers.
There's a penalty flag on the Stephen Clark punt.
Illegal formation, 21 of the kicking team. Originally lined up as an ineligible receiver, but was uncovered at the snap. That 5-yard penalty will be tacked on to the end of the kick. First down.
Tack on 5 more yards for Texas A&M. They'll start at their own 33. You can see the first half drive chart for the Aggies, mind-boggling. 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns, and at the very end, you really almost can't count that last drive. I think they were just trying to get Bertolette a rep, and he attempted a long field goal and missed it.
Yeah, that was effectively an in-game practice rep for Bertolette. I think a valuable one, of course. But this offense really met with very little resistance defensively from Auburn.
Kristen Michael, the first play for the Aggies of the half from scrimmage, and he runs it out to midfield. That's a pickup of 16 yards for Kristen Michael, who had one of those touchdowns in the first half.
See Patrick Lewis, boy, he again opening up a big gash in the center of the Auburn defense. It's the worst rush defense in the SEC. Kevin Sumlin talked about. They can run the football. It opens up the rest of their offense.
Texas A&M averaged 9.3 yards per play in the first half, and 16 plays went for 10 or more yards. Now nearly intercepted as Darren Bates almost jumped in front of that pass intended for Mike Evans.
Go back to Mike Evans, and you see these guys. Darren Bates does a good job of reading Johnny Manziel's eyes. Jumps that route, unable to come down with the turnover.
Johnny Manziel. We're going to talk about him getting back into that Heisman race now. Wants to throw here. Man wide open. It's Swope at the 20. They are just chewing up this Auburn defense, and that secondary seems to have no chance at times. Give them 30 more yards.
Well, once again, they opened the half with another 3 and out. There was only a minute 54 off the clock before A&M's back there on offense. Auburn might as well have just kicked off to him.
Swope 140 yards receiving, and now another first down run and an easy touchdown for Johnny Manziel, as this is becoming embarrassing for the Auburn Tigers.
I tell you, you watch this offense, and it is a good offense. You don't want to take anything away from Texas A&M, but the concern that you would have to have, Auburn right now, we're looking at the sideline, you see Gene Chizik, and you start to wonder, what do you point to about this ball game thus far that you can build on or around? Defensively, it's been easy. There's really no other way to describe it for A&M. A&M has been a machine offensively so far tonight.
4 plays, 72 yards in just over a minute. Manziel, 5 touchdowns tonight, 3 on the ground, 2 through the air, and 350 yards. Cliff Kingsbury, Kevin Sumlin, very pleased.
Buy 5-Hour Energy Pink Lemonade, and you can help others along the way. A portion of every bottle that they sell goes to fight breast cancer, and I think that's swell. The more you take, the more they'll pay to make them write a big check today. And if you're feeling a little slow, then 5-Hour Energy will help you go. So buy a bottle of pink lemonade, and you can help fight breast cancer today.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, Peyton. Welcome back.
Thanks, Papa. What are we going to do to kick off this season?
Same thing as last season. 1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
Good idea. 2 million free pizzas. I like it.
No. 1 million free Papa John pizzas.
2 million pizzas it is. Let's do it.
All season long, Papa John's has 2 million free pizzas for Papa Rewards members. Sign up now at papajohns.com, where a large double bacon 6-cheese pizza is just $11, or any large $1 more.
Better ingredients?
Better pizza.
Papa John's. Really? 2 million free pizzas?
Wait till you see what's next.
The The SEC Digital Network presents On Demand with Season Pass. Now you can own any game and watch it anywhere, anytime, on any device. Replay any SEC game you missed. Relive the awesome plays, the playmakers, and the moments that are all SEC all the time. Sign up, log on, SEC On Demand, where the season never ends.
It's a new late night show on ESPNU. It's perfect nightcap for your sports day. It's called Unite. Danny Cannell is on it. So is Reese Waters and Marianella. It's comedic. It's got a social twist. It's right up Matt's alley. I know he tunes in. Midnight, Monday, here on the U. And a comedic twist to this game at this point. It's really gotten crazy as Johnny Manziel up to his tricks. It looks like his night is over.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see much more of him. We talk about how important he is to A&M. A&M's got some tough tests ahead of them yet. This game is seemingly well in hand.
Ontario McCaleb on the return out over the 25. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Texas A&M. And they're going to be at Mississippi State and at Alabama the next couple of weeks. They knew that this was an important game to get this three-game road stretch started out on the right foot, and they've definitely done that.
Yeah, and you know, the schedule isn't the way it was laid out going into the season. Louisiana Tech, you see there, they're kind of in the middle of the season. That was supposed to be way up here at the beginning, but because of a hurricane, it forced A&M to run straight through their schedule. This is going to be seemingly a tough stretch of games. It gets tougher, I think, next week versus Mississippi State and certainly Alabama.
Jonathan Wallace trying to pass for the first time tonight. He's complete to Emery Blake. Said it before, Wallace does not throw the football very often, but he throws a strike to Blake for a 21-yard pickup.
You see the fans disappointed that Jonathan Wallace is coming back out of the game. You almost wonder, you know, at this stage, as inept as Auburn's looked on defense and how easy it's appeared for A&M, if you don't try to start trying more things with Jonathan Wallace, because they've seemingly had the most success with him there under center.
So Frazier comes back in. There's Blake in motion. And now Frazier wants to throw. And Blake wide open again, catches it at the 40. Steps inside the 35 and down to the 30-yard line. Devontae Harris the tackle, a gain of 23, so back-to-back explosive plays. But this is where Auburn this season has kind of been inconsistent. They'll have a couple of big plays and then they'll go backwards. Let's see if they can extend this one.
Yeah, and you see them still, you know, kind of jockeying quarterbacks in and out. They can stay out of their way like on the previous touchdown drive.
Wallace checks back in quickly. Zone read, and Wallace will keep. And he'll pick up 3.
And, you know, we talked with Mark Snyder because, you know, they've seen this. A lot of teams will use different quarterbacks. Ole Miss will play 3 different quarterbacks at times. Effectively, they do the same thing. But with Auburn, it's typically a totally different package. Jonathan Wallace is in there, so you have to prepare really for a different style of offense. A more pro style, pro set. When you've got like a Kyle Frazier in there, and then of course it's a lot more of the zone spread out formations with Wallace in their quarterback.
Complete again to the tight end Uzuma. To the end zone, touchdown! Jonathan Wallace throwing a touchdown pass. Uzuma doing most of the heavy lifting, takes it in. I'll tell you what, the 2 times that Wallace has been on the field for the lion's share of the drive, Auburn has scored.
You know, and credit Kyle Frazier comes in, gets a big completion as well. They do a good job when they get the time to operate this offense. 2 totally different styles with 2 different quarterbacks. A&M, Mark Snyder, I'm sure they're going to sit there and say, look, it doesn't matter who's out there, doesn't matter what the score is. You play for a full 4 quarters, but Auburn, something to be at least a little bit excited about.
Parkey the extra point. 49-14. Auburn getting a touchdown from their tight end, and they miss Philip Lutzenkirchen. He's out for the season with a knee injury, but it's pretty impressive catch and run.
Hey, so what do you think? Is Coach going to pull right in or back into his spot?
No brainer. Pulls right in.
Coffee or tea?
I'm going to say tea today.
I'll have the chai tea latte, please.
We're even.
Donut?
Predict Coach Corso's pick each week. You could win an all-new Chevrolet Malibu and a trip to the Discover BCS National Championship game. Visit ESPN.com/Chevrolet.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, girls. Love you.
Daddy, we made you a video for your trip. Yeah, watch it on the airplane.
Okay.
Here you go.
Aw, thanks, girls.
Yeah.
Hey, I also made you a video.
Aw, that's so sweet.
You probably shouldn't watch it on the plane.
Say bye to Daddy.
Bye, girls.
Share videos instantly on the Samsung Galaxy S3, amber, brown, and black, exclusively on Verizon.
This is SEC football. You don't cheer for your team. You live for your team. Passion is worn like a badge of honor. So everyone knows what side you're on. But also because it looks good. The SEC on ESPN collection. Proud to be SEC. Apparel and hats available at Dick's Sporting Goods or online at dicksportinggoods.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Welcome to the SEC on ESPN.
ESPN College Football, available anytime, anywhere on your computer or mobile device via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. Stinch loves that thing. I mean, he's got his iPad out right now watching
just so
the other games while we're doing our game. And Gene Chiswick congratulating Wallace on his first career touchdown pass. I'll tell you what, he's an impressive young athlete. He might have a bright future here at Auburn. A program that definitely needs bright things to start happening. Trey Williams on the return here for Texas A&M. And he'll get it to the 29. Johnny Manziel is done for the night. He's got the visor on. 260 yards passing, 90 rushing, 5 total touchdowns. And he's going to give way for Jameel Showers.
You see Johnny Manziel, you know, we talked about his playmaking abilities, a couple of designated runs. He does an excellent job throwing on the run, getting outside the pocket. You know, pump fakes actually mean something with him as much as they move the pocket. Whenever he's able to escape contain, which he's able to do quite a bit, and he is dangerous and lethal in many ways.
Showers takes his first snap. Nothing downfield, he'll run it ahead. And he'll get a few yards. Kenneth Carter makes the tackle. The sophomore out of Killeen, Texas. This is his 4th game of the season. 12 of 24 for 115. No touchdowns yet and an interception. Said before, he was in a battle with Manziel in fall camp for the starting job, and Manziel just outperformed. Second down and 9. And they'll give it to Williams. Another big run across the 40-yard line to the 43. Bates makes the tackle. It's a gain of 12.
You know, we talk about some of these young guys that Cliff Kingsbury, you see their offensive coordinator for Texas A&M has to work with. You gotta keep in mind, Trey Williams is a true freshman who's really stepped up big for A&M.
He's got it again here. And he'll get 3 more. He's got over 50 yards for the night. Trey Williams, the true freshman out of Spring, Texas. Cliff Kingsbury, just 33 years old. You can tell, young-looking guy, Houston offensive coordinator the last couple of years. And the Cougars averaged over 600 yards per game last year with Case Keenum at the controls. And having the same kind of success with these Aggies. Screen play to Williams. Breaks a tackle, slips down at the 50-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, you know, Cliff Kingsbury, part of it, when we talk about how well Manziel's played, he's a young guy, he's the quarterback's coach of Cliff Kingsbury, and kind of managing his emotions, managing how he approaches the game, and how much he really puts on his young quarterback's shoulders. Clearly, he's been able to handle and digest what they've given him so far, but this offense isn't even fully installed, and it's clearly been able to work at a very, very high level to the extent that it's even available to the players.
And he told us it's still not running as fast as he'd like it to run. This is complete to Kennedy for a first down. And you can see how quickly they get up to the ball. Even with this big lead, this offense moves very fast.
Well, that was one of the other things, too, is that it's a quarterback-oriented offense. They have to be able to process that information, get over the football. You know, it's the center and it's the QB that has to execute it, whatever it is that Kingsbury's signaling in.
Showers. Sabian Holmes on the catch. And this offense looking very sharp, and this Auburn defense continues to backpedal as we're under 7 minutes to go here in the third.
You know, it may be important to point out there was a wholesale substitution all the way across the offensive front as well for A&M, and you see them just able to move the football. And once again, you're hitting Thomas Johnson. You know, they spread the football around very well. The offense seemingly just clicking right back down the field. It's completely lifeless on the Auburn sideline and even on the field for the defensive unit right now.
The fans have left. Showers gives off to Williams. A couple of yards short of the first down. When's the last time you saw this at Auburn? Certainly not 2 years ago when everything was going just fine. And even last year, they won 8 games a season ago.
I don't know if I've ever seen it. You know, growing up where I did, Stone Mountain, Georgia, you saw a lot of Auburn games. You know, this school right here on the Georgia state line, it's very prominent, enjoyed a great deal of success. I don't think I've ever seen the stadium this empty this early in a ball game.
Williams, stiff arm, first down inside the 15. And doesn't seem to be a lot of fight in these Tigers right now.
No, you know, you don't want to say that anybody's laying down, but when we talked with Coach Van Gorder, he said, look, you know, what is it that you want to get better? And he said, you know, we just need to get better. Our effort needs to get better. It's improving, but it's not championship level. Right now, even in this ball game, just about all backups in for A&M, the way they're able to move the football. We go back to what we said coming out of the half. You see the coaches don't shut it down, but you know, you can make all the adjustments you want. If your players aren't accepting it, if they're not laying it out there, it's not going to show up on the field. And right now, Auburn defensively struggled all game long, and the effort is seemingly lacking.
Williams, first down and goal for Texas A&M as he's knocked down at the 1 yard line. This drive started at the Texas A&M 29, and they have just rolled down the field again.
You see Kevin Sumlin there. You know, a lot of respect for his opposition as well. You know, look.
Touchdown, Aggies.
Get in there for the score.
Williams.
You know, you do this. It's still early in this ball game. You know, before that touchdown, you're up however many scores it is. I'm not that good at math, right? 7 touchdowns at that point in time. You do a wholesale change halfway through the third quarter. Defense having a difficult time stopping just about anybody in an A&M uniform.
Eighth touchdown for Texas A&M. They have 604 yards of total offense. 309 have come on the ground. It's getting ugly here on the Plains.
It's a Thursday night doubleheader on ESPNU. At 6, the Eagles take on the Bobcats.
To the corner! Touchdown! Perfect throw from Tyler Tettleton.
Junior Sparkplug QB Tyler Tettleton has unbeaten Ohio in the BCS standings, while Eastern Michigan looks to pull off the big upset. Then at 9:15, the Blue Raiders and Hilltoppers battle for position in the Sun Belt. Eastern Michigan takes on Ohio at 6, then Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky at 9:15. Thursday on ESPNU.
Why do you buy from Team Auto?
The minute I heard Mike Vivaldi had taken over Team Auto in Navasota, Texas, I knew that's where I'd be buying my next vehicle. I've had many great buying experiences over the years with Mike Vivaldi.
At Douglas Nissan, we'll help you find your next car and promise you'll always get the best deal around.
And going on for the month of October, you can save up to $5,850 on the 2012 Nissan Titan with Value Truck Package, or drive away today in the 2012 Nissan Frontier and save $1,500, or get 0.9% interest for 60 months.
Come see us today at Douglas Nissan and see why we're home of the nice guys.
Douglas Nissan, off of Highway 6 in College Station near University Drive.
With 7 domestic product lines and the lifetime warranty, Team of Navasota is the best car buying experience in the Brazos Valley. Team Ford and Team Auto, only 11.7 miles south of high prices.
Team of Navasota, home of the nice price.
That was 2 years ago. It seems like a lifetime ago for some of these Auburn fans. I'm sure Cameron Newton winning the Heisman Trophy that year. 14 wins and a national championship for the Auburn Tigers. But this team has been embarrassed tonight by Johnny Football and the Aggies of Texas A&M. 56-14. Still 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Auburn off to its worst start in 60 years. And it's not going to improve here tonight. The offensive side of the ball for Auburn, you can see since 2010 it has been a decline.
Yeah, you know, it's not hard to point out that, you know, in 2010 they had this guy right here, Cameron Newton. He can make a lot of offenses look good, but, you know, even prior to that, 2009, Chris Todd set some offensive numbers as far as touchdown passes thrown at the time. And Gus Malzahn, and it was a perfect storm in a lot of ways for Auburn. Malzahn leaves to be a head coach at Arkansas State. Got some players that were recruited on this roster to run that offense. You see Jonathan Wallace back in there at quarterback, and you know, he's that type of dynamic player. But really, when they bring in Scott Loeffler, this wasn't the offense that they were gunning for. They wanted to slow the game down. They felt like they needed to be maybe more pro style. They tried to do it last year with Malzahn still here. Now this offense is geared more towards that.
And keeping Wallace in there, and I think the fans that are still here are happy to see that. Trey Mason gets the handoff from Wallace. And he's pulled down at the 37-yard line of Auburn. And it's a first down as Jontel Franklin makes the tackle. All the backups in now for Texas A&M as Kevin Sumlin has made the decision to rest his starters, his star players. He knows what lies ahead here. 2 more tough road games coming up after this one. They've got to go to Mississippi State and then, of course, to Alabama. Alabama on top 14-0 in its game with Mississippi State here tonight. Talk more about the Tide here in a bit. Another good pass. And a nice catch for Emory Blake. Jonathan Wallace showing that he does have some potential to throw the ball downfield. We hadn't seen much up until tonight.
I'll tell you what, you see Emory Blake, who has been a big play receiver for Auburn the past 3 seasons, hadn't had an opportunity to showcase it very much this year. You see Jonathan Wallace keeping his eyes downfield, not near as much pressure with the backups in, but doing a good job delivering the football. He hadn't thrown an incompletion yet this year.
6'2", 197-pound true freshman will run it. And honestly, he looks a little bigger than to the 35-yard line. Robinson, the tackle, being a 6.
When we talk about, you know, what can you get out of a game like this? You know, it's well out of hand, but here's an opportunity for maybe you to start the transition. You start maybe moving towards a different direction at the quarterback spot. You know, if this game is tighter, you know, maybe it's Cal Frazier, piecemeal Jonathan Wallace, and at this point, it makes plenty of sense to do exactly what Auburn is doing.
Give it to McCaleb. Bounces to the outside. He's got the first down, and he takes it out inside the 30-yard line to the 27. You know, there have been a lot of people chiming in on Auburn's fortunes this year, including Pat Dye, a former Auburn head coach. He lives in the area. Very pessimistic about the future this season anyways regarding the Tigers.
Yeah, and you read a quote like that, and there's no one who is a bigger Auburn man than a guy who you name your field after. Pat Dye, storied career, 12 seasons here at Auburn. I say 4 SEC championships. Obviously, Coach Bo Jackson here. Say something like that, clearly disheartening and disheartened How about the Auburn program at this point?
Wallace is going to take a shot in the end zone. Caught by Blake. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch by the senior. 27-yard strike for Wallace, and gotta say, I think he's making a lot of friends here tonight.
I mean, for the fans that are still sticking around, for the coaches, you know, they're taking a look and you know, maybe they're seeing an emergence of something in Jonathan Wallace. We'll not get too carried away here, knowing that it's largely against the A&M 2s. At the same time, you know, he's not going out there throwing incompletions, balls in the dirt, you know, bobbling snaps like we saw last week versus Vanderbilt, operating the offense and getting Auburn into the end zone again.
Tarkey with the extra point. Blake 106 yards passing, or 106 yards receiving it, excuse me, in that touchdown. Wallace, a couple of touchdown passes, and Gene Chizik finally something to clap about.
Reversa Pals are here, and the game ball is about to change. Reverse a Tiger. Reverse a Gator. If you're a fan, there's nothing greater. Now you can get your favorite college Reversa Pal. It's always great when the Crimson Tide and Tennessee collide. The Longhorns are always Texas true, while across the Red River, Boomer Sooner will do. And waiting in Death Valley is LSU. It's always a party when Florida and Georgia meet, and of course, Ohio State and Michigan. What a treat. College football fans can't get enough of their favorite teams. So we've added study buddies to the scene. They're cool and smart with pencils and glasses that set them apart. And Orbeez are cute and easy to collect. They're soft, football-shaped characters with arms and legs, but never a neck. Reversa Pals, Study Buddies, and Orbeez are collectible fun. And if you buy any three, the shipping is free. Enter the promo code Football12 and we'll take an extra 10% off. Reversa Pals are also available at your favorite retailer for college football fans everywhere.
College Football Daily, weekdays at 1 Eastern on ESPNU. We'll break it down, all the stories, all the breaking news. It's your one-stop shop for college football nuggets. It's right here on the U every weekday. Wallace has yet to throw an incompletion this year. He's 5 for 5, 4 for 4 in this game, 96 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's been very impressive. Bright spot in an otherwise gloomy night for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, you know, Emory Blake's done a pretty good job working himself open. Even when A&M was out there with their starters, able to get open at times. But absolutely, if you're paying attention to what this Auburn offense has done, the key ingredient for them when they did have success was Jonathan Wallace, either in there in the red zone or sprinkled in there at times. He's gotten a couple of starts at series, and they're able to even air it out a little bit as a passer.
And we've seen Jameel Showers at quarterback for Texas A&M as Johnny Manziel has retired for the evening. Matt Jokel now comes in, the twin brother of Luke, the left tackle. But there is a difference in size, to say the least. 2 inches and 80 pounds. Luke is 6'6", 310. Matt 6'4", 234.
He's not been on the right side.
And he has not played much this year.
Luke's got those longer arms. Matt couldn't even get at the food at the dinner table back
That's
at
what
the
they
house.
say, yeah.
Poor kid, he's malnourished. He probably would have gotten bigger.
There's big brother Luke. I say big brother in size only. They're the same age. They're twins.
Look at that kid right there, man. I mean, it's amazing that you could be twins and be that different in stature. Opportunity for his younger brother to get out there and break a sweat.
Mel Kiper has now taken Luke to number 6 on his big board.
I think Luke certainly earned it, I think, so far. And we'll get other opportunities as well.
Joko having pressure come from behind. Threw that pass intended for Malcolm Kennedy. Jonathan Mincy knocked it down. So there they are. You would hardly know they're twin brothers.
Well, they kind of look alike in the face area. You know, as long as the face mask is there to break it up. You know, Luke looks a little girthier, kind of in that area. Not as lean as his brother.
Trey Williams getting a lot of work here in the second half for Texas A&M. A lot of the 2s and 3s will. Luke Jokel, first team All Big 12 last year as a sophomore. And he's going to have a bright future in the NFL. You can see that Kiper and McShay really like Luke Jokel. So that extra girth that he put on he's putting to good use.
Yeah, one day that's going to be occupational girth. That's going to come in handy on a Sunday, I believe, the way he's played.
By the way, congratulations on losing your occupational girth. I mean, you've dropped a lot of weight since you're playing this.
You're implying I have weight to lose. It's good weight.
There's an incompletion. Enrique Florence, the free safety in the coverage for Auburn.
You know, hear the crowd cheering. The defense came up with a stop.
Yep.
They found a way to stop this A&M offense. They're getting a couple of new faces in there. The quarterback position. Jamil Showers moves them right down for a score. And Matt Jokel was unable to pick up the first down, and Auburn finally forcing a punt.
First punt for A&M, and this is their 10th drive. Quan Bray back to return. Ryan Epperson, 4th year as the starting punter for Auburn. Bray sidesteps a potential tackler, moves it ahead across the 35-yard line. Let's get an update in the studio with Matt.
Yeah, guys, Notre Dame had not allowed a rushing touchdown all season until here. Blake Bell, the Belldozer, gets in, but trailing 10-3, it was negated because of a holding call. Oklahoma would have to settle for a field goal. Bob Stoops was none too pleased. Notre Dame up 10-6 at the half.
Notre Dame in the national title picture. They haven't won a national title since 1988. Fans of the Irish really excited about this year's team.
Well, you know, coming into the season, we talked about their schedule, one of the most daunting ones that you could find in college football coming into the year.
It's Trey Mason, good run. And some balance. It's out to the 48-yard line, just shy of the first down. Auburn trying to take advantage of this time. Find some positives here in the second half. And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Kevin Sumlin hasn't lost a road game as a head coach since the 2010 season. Guy's unbelievable. This team large and in charge here in Auburn going into the fourth.
Let's have a little
The NASCAR Chase for the Spring Cup in Martinsville tomorrow at 1 on ESPN.
I have no idea as to how I'm going to be paying for college.
I'm the second oldest of 14 children.
I'm currently working 5 nights a week.
I am paying for law school on my own.
Let me tell you about my goals, my ambitions.
I'm really passionate about human rights policy making.
I want to help a lot of people in my life, start my own business.
I want to make an impact on my community.
I'm pleased to present you with this check for $100,000.
Dr. Pepper is giving away over $1 million in tuition. Share your story at drpepper.com. The Dr. Pepper Tuition Giveaway.
Ooh, sweet.
Good morning. My name is Dave.
I'm very excited to be here today.
Your deadline is
Ambitious. However, I'm up for the challenge.
gonna miss my mother-in-law's birthday party. Thank you.
My goal is to become...
Salesperson of the year.
Can't wait to get started.
With Avis, you can select a car like a BMW and give yourself the right space when it matters. Avis, it's your space.
Average work pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose Work Pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose Work Pants. Tougher than an angry beaver's teeth. Get a pair at DuluthTrading.com.
Matt Chick in the studio with an update. Battle of unbeatens in the SEC West. Alabama, not much of a challenge so far. A.J. McCarron, the touchdown to Michael Williams. He has 2 touchdown passes on the day so far. 21-0 Alabama, guys.
Meanwhile, here, Matt, it's 56-21 as this game has been ugly, kind of like these guys. A lot of Halloween outfits here tonight. Kind of fun. But a lot of those people have already left to the parking lot.
You got a chicken on her head?
I think there's a turkey. To the 38-yard line. Trey Mason, another long run. Now up over 50 yards on the night, a gain of 12 there.
And, you know, we talked about A&M trying to squeeze in an opportunity for their field goal kicker. You know, look, this is an in-game experience. These are opportunities to get your guys on offense. They're still out there, the starters for Auburn. Most positions except for the quarterback position, obviously, with Clint Mosley going down early in this ball game. There's still plenty for them to build from and around with this time. Use it. You got a quarter to play.
Well, they're trying to get Jonathan Wallace some work, and he's taking advantage of it. Uzuma to the 14-yard line. Wallace is still perfect throwing the football.
I'll tell you what, and C.J. Uzuma, who they were trying to get the ball to early in this ball game, he's stepping up big at the tight end position. We talked about Philip Wutzenkirchen going down with that hip injury, ending his career here at Auburn. C.J. Uzuma stepping up now at the tight end position, getting another target out wide for the Auburn offense.
Uzuma 3 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. Wallace will keep it. Yeah, you know the chatter's going to start. I mean, it's starting already surrounding Jonathan Wallace. You talked about Barrett Trotter deciding not to come back for his senior season, so it was Mosley and Frazier, the 2 likely quarterbacks to get the nod at the start of the season. It was Frazier, but he was awful, and Mosley not much better. And now Jonathan Wallace, it might be his time.
Yeah, well, and they got New Mexico State next week, and so you can build up some momentum going into next week versus an opponent that that should still be overmatched.
As we say that, the snap is high, and it's recovered at the 21-yard line by Wallace. A loss of 10. So, I mean, this is still a team that has its issues. There's Reese Demukes, the center, who hyperextended his right elbow a couple of weeks ago. And where was that going?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of times, I played center in the shotgun snap. You're trying to reach to your left away from your snap hand side. He's playing with a hyperextended elbow. It doesn't matter. The O-line coach ain't going to like it, Coach Grimes. And certainly no excuses accepted. Demukes was a guy, though, that the offensive coordinator, Coach Leffler, said, well, he's our steadiest guy. We said, who's your best offensive player? And he said, our center right now.
3rd and 17. Wallace complete again. Penalty flag down as Quan Bray hauls it in, and he's hauled out at the 14-yard line. And it's going to go against Auburn.
You know, this is what we've seen. Hold for the call.
Holding, offense 73, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Very young offensive line for Auburn. The redshirt freshman Greg Robinson with the penalty.
You see him there just working on the edge. This on Sean Porter, a pretty good pass rusher. He made it easy on him. Made it easy on the officials to make that call. A little bit surprising to see Sean Porter. You know, in the previous touchdown drive by Auburn, Jonathan Stewart still in the ball game for A&M on defense.
That's all of a sudden 3rd down and 27. Wallace over the middle. Incomplete. That was Uzuma, the intended target, and they'll walk the field goal unit out. It'll be a real long attempt for the Auburn kicker, Cody Parkey. First incomplete pass of the year for Wallace. Now Parkey comes on. He's got a long of 46 this year. This one is going to be from 48. First attempt tonight. It's good. New. Plenty of leg. Is wide to the right. It's been that kind of year for Auburn. 56-21 A&M.
This new phone is amazing. I'm watching Natalie's ballet recital, and I'm pulling photos right from the video.
Great idea. We can pick one and frame it.
Here, watch this. She nails almost every move.
Her old camera could never do this. She's so good at ballet.
I think she's the best in the class. Where is she, by the way?
In timeout.
Oh, in that one?
Ooh.
Take a photo straight from video and never miss a moment. The HTC One X from AT&T, now $99.99. AT&T, rethink possible.
I believe in you. When you use Old Spice Champion, it's like you're the star in a Hollywood film about your own life.
As opposed to playing a small bit part in someone else's film.
Monday, it's a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. Patrick Willis leads the league's top-ranked defense against Larry Fitzgerald and the Cards. Monday Night Football, 49ers, Cardinals, 8:30 on ESPN. It all comes down to Monday night.
Tim Hudson, a former Auburn Tiger baseball great, now, of course, a pitcher with the Atlanta Braves. Had a home run derby for charity here at Auburn last night. Brought in some of his friends from around Major League Baseball, including Gabe Gross, another former Auburn Tiger. There's Chris Medlin, Braves pitcher. Wes Helms, former Marlins infielder. Crawford, they're taking a big cut. You know, the pitchers were actually pretty good last night. The pitchers took on the position players, and the pitchers won the home run derby, and all the money raised going to Hudson's Family Foundation that benefits needy kids. They raised almost $16,000 last night.
I'll tell you what, the Hudsons, you know, both Tim and his wife Kim, they do remarkable things for people in the community, and that foundation has been a powerful tool in a lot of people's lives. Tim Hudson, heck of a pitcher. He's probably on the Mount Rushmore of former Auburn players. You think Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas, you know, maybe a couple other guys, and you got to throw Tim Hudson in there as well. Lives here locally, does a lot for this community, and beyond that even.
Is Charles Barkley on there?
Yeah, Charles Barkley's on it. Did I not mention Charles?
No, you probably need more than 4 spots. I know if you're talking Mount Rushmore, that's 4 spots, but you know, there's so many greats that were here at Auburn across many sports. Here's Trey Williams. For the Aggies, they continue to pile up yards to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 23. There's Cam Newton and Bo Jackson, the 2 Heisman winners here at Auburn.
Pat Sullivan. You know, we need a bigger mountain for this Mount Rushmore of Auburn guys.
Pat Sullivan, his Heisman, what year was that? 71? I say it was 71.
Coaching up at Sanford, just up the road.
629 yards of total offense for Texas A&M tonight. Eesh. Jameel Showers at quarterback, complete, first down. To the 29, that's Malcolm Kennedy. Malcolm Kennedy, gain of 14 yards. And that's another big play as we're under 10 minutes. Kennedy has chipped in nicely. Showers is going to keep it. Cuts it up to the 21-yard line.
Bill Showers, you know, showing some evasiveness as well. I mean, in contrast to Johnny Manziel, if you haven't seen what the other quarterback for the Aggies is capable of doing, you'd say, you know, he may be just as good, if not better, with that elusiveness, evasiveness in this offense. It shows how good Johnny Manziel is as a scrambler. This offense has looked good with Jameel Showers back in there at quarterback. And obviously Trey Williams, you know, when we visited with A&M earlier this week, they talked about what he's meant. You know, Christian Michael coming off of a knee injury. You know, Benny Molina's not a big guy. You know, Trey Williams is a freshman. They've had to step up, split some carries around. You can't say enough about what they've done offensively. And, you know, for A&M defensively as well, it's overshadowed a little bit by the outsized numbers that the offense has put up.
And Williams will push ahead for a first down. Tonight is his first career 100-yard rushing game. So congratulations Trey Williams. The most points that Auburn has given up since the '96 season. And Texas A&M driving inside the red zone again. Darrell Walker on the catch.
That's a good-looking ball from Jamel Showers. You know, I think you like what you're seeing here, picking up the first down. Previous play, Cliff Kingsbury getting an opportunity to work in his backups, getting him some scoring opportunities. Really, with only one punt so far tonight, the offense still seeming to operate pretty seamlessly.
Williams inside the 5, and he's close to another touchdown. I don't think he made it. They're going to mark him down inside the 1. Texas A&M in its first year in the SEC. Did you expect him to be this impressive?
No, it's exact opposite, I think, of what most folks, including me, expected. I figured Missouri would have the most opportunity because of the East. It's been A&M that's announced their presence early in year 1.
And Williams slips down. That's actually going to be a loss on a play, second down and goal.
We got to keep in mind, in their opener, they're supposed to play Louisiana Tech. They get hurricaned out. Isaac washes out that ball game. Kevin Sumlin opens up his career versus a Florida Gator team that proved to be better than most would have thought. You know, if they don't call a timeout for Caleb Sturgis kicking a 51-yard field goal in that second quarter of the game, what ended up being a 3-point loss to the Florida Gators, you know, Sturgis misses it. You know, they could be a one-loss ball club right now. A&M more than competitive.
The Alabama native Kevin Sumlin having fun in his home state tonight. 56-21 A&M.
New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy? 5-Hour Energy supports the Avon Foundation for Women Breast Cancer Crusade. So I can get the energized feeling I need and support a great cause? I'm sold.
Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy.
Yeah, and a portion of every sale goes to the Avon Foundation for Women Breast Cancer Crusade.
I'm sold.
New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy. Get the alert, energized feeling you need and support breast cancer research and access to care.
Garland Shelton Volkswagen has some October deals for you. Drive away a 2013 VW Jetta with an RCD 310 radio and keyless remote with 0.9% for up to 66 months, or lease one for $159 a month. Get into the sport luxury sedan, the 2013 VW CC, loaded with lighting package, Bluetooth, 17-inch alloy wheels, and more. It's yours with no interest for up to 72 months, or lease one for only $249 a month. Get some of the best deals of the year at Garland Shelton Volkswagen.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy. Great new taste, same great energy. Got to take that 5-hour energy to keep up with you, Matt Stinchko. And I don't know if there's enough 5-hour energy in the world to keep up with Johnny Manziel. He was impressive again tonight before taking the large part of the second half off.
Really needed about 2.5 hours of energy tonight.
Louisville, Cincinnati at 1, then Texas, Oklahoma at 3, tomorrow on ESPNU.
Abolishing slavery settles the fate for all coming time.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
The war will take our son. How will I ever forgive you?
You ain't enlisting in nothing. I have to do this. Whether or not you fought is what's gonna matter. I can't accomplish a thing until we end this war. Slavery, sir, it's done. We're stepped out upon the world stage with the fate of human dignity in our hands.
We are guaranteed to lose the whole thing. This fight is for the United States of America.
You insult God.
You think they'll keep their promise?
Don't you threaten me.
People disagree. Bringing them together requires time. The great day of reckoning is upon us.
Lincoln, rated B.
We welcome everybody back to Auburn. We apologize. We lost our signal momentarily, and you probably missed this. Malcolm Kennedy on the receiving end of a Texas A&M touchdown pass from Jameel Showers. In fact, the first career touchdown pass for Showers. And the extra point was good. It's now 63-21. A&M with 6:27 to go here. And this is the most points allowed by an Auburn team since the 1917 season. When you just thought it couldn't get any worse for these Auburn Tigers, we flashed something up like this, and Gene Chizik knows that the pressure continues to mount here on the Plains.
Well, it only gets worse in games like this. I mean, this game, you don't want to say it's over before it started, but it was over shortly after it started. I mean, A&M cruised right down the field. You know, we just talked about it. They've really had only one defensive stop. Offensively, they've been unable to get really anything going. A couple of touchdown drives, you know, one in the first quarter. Kyle Frazier was able to get a completion on a third down. Jonathan Wallace gets in there and makes some things happen with his legs. But really, by and large, offense wasn't going anywhere tonight for Auburn, and certainly the defense has really struggled to slow down this A&M offense at all.
Ontario McCaleb across the 20. On his feet to the 24-yard line. There's a buyout in Gene Chizik's contract, and it stands at $7.5 million. The university would have to pay Gene Chizik if they bought out his contract at the end of the season, plus an additional $1.35 million for the coordinators. So it would be an expensive buyout for the school, and that's a decision they're going to have to make. Do they swallow that and move on, or do they stick with Gene Chizik for financial reasons?
Well, I'll tell you what, you look at this program, and I'm confident they've got a couple of, you see a lot of construction projects going on around here. They've enjoyed a lot of success. But more than anything, when you're at Auburn, when you talk to any Auburn fan, the measurement, and it is true for the folks in Tuscaloosa as well, is it's the Iron Bowl. And how do you compare not only with your peers in the Southeastern Conference, but with what's going on in Tuscaloosa? And if you're in Tuscaloosa with what's going on in Auburn, Alabama, and you see that juggernaut, I mean, it's a machine right now at Alabama. And clearly Auburn already headed in the opposite direction this season, largely lost.
Now, we showed you earlier that Gene Chizik is not the only coach in the SEC under fire. Derek Dooley at Tennessee, as the Vols lose again today, they still haven't won in the SEC this year. He's under fire. Joker Phillips is in a world of hurt in Lexington, Kentucky. And we all know about Arkansas's troubles, and John L. Smith is not coming back.
Yeah, you talk about all that. And, we're here at Auburn, and we're talking about the difficulties here at Auburn, and what it looks like in contrast to other division opponents, other teams in the SEC, and certainly how they're measured against Alabama. And then you take into account the fact that there's some other prominent programs that were considered top-tier jobs that will be very lucrative for their new coaches that are going to be in the head coaching market that are. We know Arkansas is looking for a head coach right now.
The other area is the recruiting aspect for Auburn that they have to consider if they let Chizik go. Jonathan Wallace has been impressive tonight, picks up 6 yards on that carry. Chizik has excelled in the recruiting part of what he does, and he's expected to have another top-notch class in 2013, and none of those recruits have backed out yet. If Chizik is fired, you might expect a few defections.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, and you know what, though? You look at recruiting, and this is just a guy that haven't gone through the process. If you go to play for any one coach, I think you're a fool. You know, you're one firing away from playing from a totally different coaching staff, and I experienced that at Georgia as a player.
Ricardo Lewis, takes the direct snap. We haven't seen that yet tonight. The wide receiver in the Wildcat. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and just going back to the recruiting, you know, Auburn's doing an excellent job, has done an excellent job. Even this year recruiting, you know, top 10 recruiting class, I want to say 7th in the country. And Coach Chizik's been, you know, I think, very pleased and somewhat surprised, I think, even given the season that they've had and how well that class has held together. There's a long time yet until signing day. A lot can change between now and then. You know, but going back to that, going back to what it means, you know, about what a proud program Auburn is. If those kids want to play at Auburn, then they should stay committed to Auburn. You don't come and commit to go play for a coach. It's too easy for the coach to leave. You're stuck at a school at that point. You come and play for a program.
First down for Auburn. Jonathan Wallace takes a handoff. Good run. He's got the first down to the 30. And, you know, we talked about what Pat Dye said, the former Auburn coach. He doesn't think that this team is capable of even winning one more game. We should point out New Mexico State still on the schedule, as you said, and even Alabama A&M's on the schedule. You know, they could still end up getting 3 wins. But there's such a sour taste right now, and I think so many fans are ready for a change. This might already spell doom for Gene Chisholm, regardless of how many wins they end up with.
I'll tell you, and it's kind of the nature of the beast. I think college football in general, but certainly in the pressure cooker that is the Southeastern Conference, there's a lot of investment. There's a great deal of emphasis on college football, and it drives, it's really, you know, the financial engine for a lot of these athletic departments. There's only 22 athletic departments in the country that are even profitable, and it's largely because of football. Auburn needs a successful football program. Many schools need that. The best way to have those wins and losses. It fills the coffers, it funds everything else, engages the fan base. You can see right now in the stadium, there's probably more kids at fans at a high school game.
Jay Prosh with the catch, the fullback. Transfer from Illinois. Again, it's been such a tough week for Gene Chisholm. His mom died on Monday. The 86-year-old lived right here in Auburn, and I really feel for everything he's going through personally. This is not what he hoped for as far as an effort from his team here tonight to close this week out.
Yeah, tough. I mean, we talk about turmoil on the field, obviously turmoil off the field. It only got tougher here tonight with this team's performance versus A&M.
Into the end zone, and that's incomplete for Wallace. Reed, the closest receiver. Our 5-star player of the game, presented by Wrangler, and of course it's Johnny Manziel. 260 passing yards, 90 rushing yards, and 5 total touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, we talk about Auburn. The other side of this, though, is the story that is Texas A&M. You know, this is a school that's brand new to the Southeastern Conference, and a lot of expectations were all they're going to take their lumps. Well, they have at times, but they've been able to get up off the mat. There's just some big heavyweights in the Floridas and the LSUs, and they've handled their business throughout the other balance of their SEC schedule.
Timeout, Auburn. Gene Chisholm and the Auburn Tigers are going to lose here tonight.
Louisville, Cincinnati at 1, then Texas, Oklahoma at 3. Tomorrow on ESPNU.
Abolishing slavery settles the fate for all coming time.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
The war will take our son. How will I ever forgive you?
You ain't enlisting in nothing. I have to do this. Whether or not you fought is what's gonna matter. I can't accomplish a thing until we end this war. Slavery, sir, it's done. We're stepped out upon the world stage with the fate of human dignity in our hands.
We are guaranteed to lose the whole thing. This fight is for the United States of America. You insult God. You think they'll keep their promise?
Don't you threaten me.
People disagree. Bringing them together requires time. The great day of reckoning is upon us.
Lincoln, rated PG-13 in select cities November 9th. Everywhere November 16th.
You are terrible.
I can't see.
Oh, turn up the brightness.
It's already up.
Oh. Sorry, buddy. You know, some of us destroy zombies and some of us feed them.
How am I supposed to win? Your screen is like as big as my phone.
Not everything's about winning.
I like to win.
You like to whine.
Buy any Samsung Galaxy handset, get up to $100 off a second Galaxy handset of the same or lesser price, exclusively at AT&T.
Kevin Sumlin's going to get his 10th consecutive road win tonight as a head coach, going back to his days with Houston. 63-21 Texas A&M, just over a minute to go. Auburn is going to go for it here on 4th and 9. Why not? So out of the timeout, they throw, and it's incomplete. And Texas A&M will take over on downs, and they'll close it out when we come back to Auburn.
Oh, there you go. I'm gonna stand up to her.
No, you're not.
I know.
You know, Ronnie, folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico sure are happy. How happy are they, Jimmy?
Happier than a witch in a broom factory.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
This is SEC football. You don't cheer for your team. You live for your team. Passion is worn like a badge of honor. So everyone knows what side you're on. But also because it looks good. The SEC on ESPN collection. Proud to be SEC. Apparel and hats available at Dick's Sporting Goods or online at dicksportinggoods.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M are going to go to 6-2. Overall, 3-2 in the SEC. Coming off that loss to LSU in College Station last week, this was a thorough whooping here in Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, if you could picture one, this is as thorough as it gets. They put on a clinic here tonight offensively. You take a look at Auburn, and there's very little really to point to say, other than Jonathan Wallace and maybe C.J. Uzoma at the tight end position. Next week, A&M's got Mississippi State. This was perfect timing for them to get their starters out and let them rest up. They missed out on that bye week. So strategically, this is a good game to jump out on front and hang on to a big lead.
Texas A&M becomes the 7th bowl-eligible team in the SEC in their first year in the league. They didn't know about Johnny Manziel at College Station back in July and August. He was named the starter, and he has been dynamite for Kevin Sumlin. Gets the win on the road in A&M's first trip to Auburn. 672 yards of total offense tonight for Texas A&M. 9 touchdowns on 11 drives. 5 of them, Manziel had a hand in. (63-21) the final. Texas A&M gets the win here in Auburn. Let's go down to Allison.
Thank you, Clay. Coach Sumlin, such a dominant performance tonight on both sides of the ball. What stood out to you and impressed you the most about the way your team performed?
Well, I just liked our energy when we hit the field at the beginning. We were excited to play. You know, it's I'm proud of these guys coming into a new league, traveling and handling things on the road. You know, we got a tough stretch going right now. Our guys recognize that, but to come out and play the way they did, you know, that's great leadership out of our seniors who really bought into what we're trying to accomplish, and you know, we're looking forward to another tough one next week.
You mentioned next week and the tough schedule you guys have coming up at Mississippi State and then Alabama. How much did it help being able to kind of rest some of your starters and maybe get some momentum going into next week? Well,
you know, I think it does. You know, we truly are taking it 1 week at a time. We came over here and said at the beginning of the week we wanted to be 1-0 this week, and we'll enjoy this one for 24 hours, and we'll get the same speech next Monday. We want to be 1-0 next week.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Kevin Sumlin, a proud Alabama native, made his family and friends who made the trip and were in attendance here tonight very happy with a Texas A&M win. Johnny Manziel was the story tonight. 63-21 the final. We'll be back here in Auburn to talk more about Manziel. For now, to the studio and Matt.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll get right back out there momentarily. Mississippi State and Alabama, battle of unbeatens in the SEC West after a T.J. Yeldon rushing touchdown. A.J. McCarron to Kenny Bell.
Well, and also against a